All right, let's welcome in our guest for the Old Man and the Three draft, Arian Foster and PFT. PFT, this is, I believe, your second appearance on the Old Man and the Three, your second time drafting with us. Arian, this will be your first. We appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the time.
Of course. Yeah, I'm surprised that you're not watching Duke lose right now, JJ. They're playing currently against Georgia Tech, and I think if they lose, they're probably not going to make the tournament, right?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have not been following any college basketball, so I don't really know what's going on with
this.
Duke.
Is what happens when Duke is bad.
Yeah, I was going to say you conveniently picked a great season not to do that. Weird.
We have to mention Arian and PFT, the co-hosts of the most popular new podcast in America, Macrodosing, co-produced by our friends at Barstool Sports and 342 Productions. Guys, how does it feel to PFT? How does it feel to have two of the most popular podcasts in America under your burgeoning empire?
I mean, I think I've hitched myself to two great wagons. Here's the secret to success in life is find two people that can host a show with you that are much more talented than you are. So I've got Arian on one hand, and then I've got Big Cat on the other. So, I mean, I'm like that fish that just hangs out next to the big whale shark and just gets all the benefits of hanging out with you guys. So no, it's been fun. It's been a really cool time. We're talking about some weird stuff that we probably wouldn't ever discuss on any of the other shows that we do, but it's been a blast. The first two episodes have been a lot of fun.
Arian, how did you guys get the idea for this? You guys are doing essentially deep dives on weird internet shit, conspiracy theories. Your first two episodes focused on Alex Jones and flat earth truthers.
Right. I think when we first started kicking it around, Tommy was like, yo, we got a good idea for you and PFT got to get together and do something. Right. And so we just started kind of spitballing and I'm unsure whose idea it was. Let's just say it was mine for the sake of my ego. But I think, you know, one of us started kicking around, was like doing something just about like internet culture and internet memes. And that kind of grew into like conspiracy theories and just kind of deep diving into things. And PFT's was solely his idea to do the first episode on Alex Jones, which is fascinating to me because he's actually been stalking Alex Jones for a good 12 years now. And if you check that episode out, you'll see why and why he got off the wagon and why he's back on the wagon. And it's an interesting chain of events for sure.
Yeah, I think Alex Jones like challenged us to a fight. I saw that there was a clip going on. Yeah. I guess he's been deplatformed, so it's hard to find out like when Alex Jones is trying to fight you. But somebody sent me this clip of Alex Jones. I think we're gonna have Billy fight him. I think Billy Football has challenged Alex Jones to a fight. So we'll see if he accepts. And honestly, like I don't really feel like giving Alex Jones a camera and a microphone to talk into to promote a fight, even really. But I mean, if Billy calls him out and tries to fight him, and Alex says yes, then that's going to be tough for me to turn down watching Alex just get the shit kicked out of him by our intern.
Explain Billy's role in all of this.
It's a good question. It's a great question.
Still trying to figure that out.
Billy was a late addition to this show. So I told Billy about the idea for it the night before we taped episode 1. And Billy's face lit up. He's our intern on Part of My Take. He's kind of grown into more of it's like less an intern role and just now like a guy that hangs out. He doesn't really bring anything to Part of My Take besides his presence, which is calming. And I guess we like having him around because he's a nice guy. But when I told him the idea for the show, his face lit up and he was like, "Can I be your Jamie? Like on the Joe Rogan show? Can I just like sit in the room and Google stuff for you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what, Billy? Absolutely." So he sat in and then he gets really into this stuff and he's passionate about it. And he gets to show a different side of himself, which is actually like a pretty intellectually curious dude. He doesn't always have like all the facts, but he's like a young kid who's he's just like passionate about some of the same weird stuff that we're into. And I actually saw growth from Billy. This was amazing. In episode 1, we were talking about how you form a connection with the person that you listen to on the radio. And Billy was talking about how that's kind of how he got into being interested to be an intern for Part of My Take. He would listen to Big Cat and I and Hank talk every day, and he felt like he was one of us. And he got into that because he was listening to music when he was driving and got pulled over by a police officer. And the cop came up to him and was like, listen, kid, you can't listen to Led Zeppelin while you're driving. You're going to speed. You need to switch it over into some podcasts. And then gave Billy like a handful of suggestions of podcasts instead of a ticket. And the look on Arian's face when he said that, like his interaction with the cop for getting pulled over was, tell you what, you were speeding, but maybe listen to Fresh Air instead, and you won't drive so fast. All right, son, be on your way. The look on Arian's face, I was like, oh my God. So Arian like kind of called Billy out on it, and Billy, he froze and he was like, you know what? Like, I fully acknowledge my privilege in that situation for instead of getting a ticket or any other interaction with the police officer for just getting a podcast recommendation. I was like, Billy, dude, you're growing. You're applying things that you learn in theory into your real life. And I was proud of him. I was like a proud dad.
I feel like this is a never-ending topic for you guys. Like, you could just come up with things every week. Is there anything that you can share with us coming up or that you're particularly excited about down the road?
We've tossed out a couple ideas. I think we definitely want to do an MK Ultra episode. That's fascinating stuff. If you look at the history behind like CIA mind control, which was a real thing, that movie Men Who Stare at Goats was actually about that entire program, where they tried to give people the power to like destroy shit with their brain. That actually happened. That was a real thing that the government did for like years and years. I think that's fascinating stuff. I'd like to do that. We've talked about data mining and just what companies do when they get your information, where they can hear you, what info they pull from your Google history, the things that you buy online, where Amazon sends all that stuff, because that's some crazy shit that goes on behind the scenes that I think everybody has had it kind of pop up in their life when they have a conversation with somebody. Let's just say, I don't know, hypothetically about, what are those shoes? The big, thick shoes, Balenciagas? Is that what they are? Yeah. Like you have a conversation with somebody about those, and then next thing you know, you're getting served ads on Instagram like a day and a half later, and you've never Googled them.
Dog, I bought a pan like 3 months ago, because I needed a nonstick pan because I got super into cooking eggs. And so I bought a nonstick pan, and I don't even know if I said anything to anybody about me buying a pan. For 2 months straight, dog, nothing but pan ads. And I'm like, I already have one. Like, this is not even smart.
I was going to say, and sometimes it's not even a day and a half. Sometimes it's like 25 minutes. Sometimes it'll, especially on Instagram, it'll pop up quick.
I had another one where I was like, yo, I don't have, and my phone's right here, so probably gonna happen again, dog. But I had a conversation with somebody, like, yo, I have no jeans. Like, I have no pants. I have all sweats. Like, I just don't have any jeans. And for 6 months, I'm getting jean ads. I'm getting pants ads. I'm like, dog, like, this is kind of whack. But sometimes they be fire and I'd be buying them. So it is what it is.
I wonder if that works. Like, I might do just an experiment and buy a bunch of pregnancy tests and then see if I start getting ads for diapers within like a couple days, you know?
See how smart it is.
Yeah.
Here's what I wonder. So like this the COINTELPRO, the FBI program, and then like MK Ultra. Like what are the things happening now that are still classified that we're gonna find out about in 20 years? That's the shit that kind of is mind blowing to me.
Yeah, I think that's the interesting thing, and the reason why I think doing a pod like this is so fun, right? So we start the pod with like some episodes that are kind of lighthearted with a quirky snake oil salesman like Alex Jones and the flat earth theory, which is kind of, it's fun to poke fun at or whatever. But getting into these deep dives, there are some actual conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. Stuff like the Tuskegee experiments, right? Where they actually experimented on black folks and gave them placebo when they were giving syphilis cures out, right? Stuff like that. MK Ultra, COINTELPRO, where they were spying on a lot of black leaders, Martin Luther King, stuff like that. Stuff that actually comes out to be true. This is what I'm really interested in and why I had a podcast that was, it was relatively popular. It was starting to gain steam, but I was just never really excited about it. It's just like me having conversations with people. This is what I'm actually excited about, to see where it grows, because like PFT's, I guess people don't know, or maybe they do, I don't know, but he's smart as shit. He's smart, and I don't think a lot of people know that. And I want to really dig into this side of conspiracy theories, just like you said, that have some inkling of truth and really like do real research, not flat earth research, but like real research on it that will actually help people, help bring a lot of these things to light, because there's a lot of shit that we got our hands in and we're distracted by entertainment.
I love it. I can't wait to see what you guys do with this. Already, the first 2 episodes were fascinating and really well done. Again, it's Macrodosing is the name of the podcast. Check it out wherever you listen to your pods. All right, let's get to the draft if no one has anything else. Tommy, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, so full. I've realized I should start using a disclaimer for some of these drafts because inevitably we catch some heat on social media when we post our graphics. And just to be clear on this one, it was PFT's idea. And we're going to draft U.S. presidents that we want on our NFL team. Now, obviously, there's been 46 presidents and 45 of them are white men. So we're not going to have a ton of diversity in this draft.
A lot of high motor guys.
Yeah, it's going to be like Stanford, basically.
Stanford
and Yale.
17
Patriots
guards
receiving
and
corps.
3 fullbacks.
Air Force. We're going to run the wing T for sure.
All right, Arian.
Let's do it. All right, so for my first pick of the 2021 presidential draft, I have got to go with, for the bloodline, I got to go with Barack Obama. I know it's cliche, but if we're going to have any chance at athleticism, I have to add him on. And I saw him play pickup basketball, super trash, but I think he's way better than any of these other Skeletor-looking motherfuckers on here. So I think I'm going to have to go with Barack.
It's not a bad pick. I mean,
Super trash is harsh.
he's got
bro. I don't think he got up like 6 inches off the ground. Like
Yeah, but who are you comparing him to, bro? I mean,
the other athletes. I'm an
but
athlete.
he plays with NBA players. Like he plays with he conceivably could be playing with people like JJ. Like he's not playing with a bunch of white dudes at the Y.
Bro, he's not. Like nobody's going hard against Barack, dog. What are you saying?
he's got a decent jump shot, but I've never seen him shoot it guarded. It's always, you know what he does? Like he's the king of, he's about to leave a gym or like he just gave a speech in a gym. And then on his way out, he's like, let me take one shot. And he just gets it and he hits it and then walks out. I've never seen him do it with a hand in his face though.
Here's a question I have. So the way I did sort of my board, I did it positionally. Where would you play Barack on the football field?
Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking somewhere at a skill position on offense because we got to score points, right? Because if we have a bunch of other presidents out there, they're not going to be that agile. So I'm thinking he's either my number one receiver or he's my I don't know how his arm. You know, we got to wait till we get in training camp and see if he could throw that thing. We're gonna stick him back there at quarterback and Lamar Jackson is MVP season thing.
I've seen him throw out a first pitch before. His form is not great.
Okay,
I don't trust his
why.
But I agree with you. Like I think, having him be like a possession receiver, he's got a big catch radius. I could see that working out.
Exactly, and you know they'll treat him like those tweeners in college, those black quarterbacks that they don't really want to be behind center. Get in the league and move out wide. You're athletic, buddy.
Just put him everywhere. It's a good first pick.
All right, I'm gonna build my team. Is it me next?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you took mine. I had a strategy I was going to use, but I can't do. I was actually, full disclosure, I was going to go Obama, Trump 1 and 2 for my 2 picks, and just build a stacked wide receiver team because you got Obama out on one end, and then you got Trump. Who I looked up his measurements, 6'3", 230. He's the exact same body type as DK Metcalf. That is literally DK Metcalf's height and weight. And I think if you can get a physical specimen like that, you got to grab him up. But if I can't have Obama on the other side from Trump, I don't know that Trump's a guy that you want out on an island by himself. He's more of a complementary player. So I'm going to build my team differently. I'm going to build it from the inside out. I'm going to start with Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford at center. He played center at the University of Michigan, I believe. So he's like legit a good offensive lineman. I don't know that much about him. I heard he was a little bit clumsy. I know he's dead. I think a lot of these guys are going to be dead. But I think that he's got the pedigree. He's actually like been through 2 days before. So I'm taking Gerald Ford.
The vast majority of these guys are going to be dead, actually. The vast majority.
All right.
Yeah, it's a great pick. He actually – I mean, I think he was actually a good football player. He also played a little bit of linebacker, so you can play him on both sides of the ball.
Okay, I love that. Yeah,
he's definitely the highest achieving football player of any American president.
One and two off my board. My draft board was 1 and 2.
So far,
Solid.
Tommy.
Ford and Obama gone.
I'm going a little bit differently for my first pick. I'm going William Howard Taft. 6 foot, 343 pounds, classic nose tackle. I think you can play him both ways, depending on your offensive scheme. But you need a mauler. You need somebody who can command a double team, who can clear the way for whoever my running back is. Just build in the trenches, PFT. I know you know. I'm happy he's here. I was sort of worried he was going to be gone.
Yeah, he's a space eater. He'll take up a couple guys at once for sure. Taft was a big boy.
Yep. Big boy. All right, Jay.
All right. My first pick, I'm going Teddy Roosevelt. He was he's a tough son of a bitch, and you just want him out there. When PFT talks about grit, I think of Teddy Roosevelt. That's who I think of.
He got shot in a speech and finished the speech.
Yes. Fought in a war.
That's great.
Was a gamesman. He was a hunter, a cattle rancher.
A little short though.
He's my running back. I looked up his measurements. He's 5'10", 210. He's built 5'10", 210. Come on.
PFT, what do you think about taking a fullback in the first round?
I love it. I love the value. Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt. He was definitely a tough dude. Finishing a speech while you have a bullet in your chest. That's Byron Leftwich stuff. He was getting carried off the field like by Secret Service agents, like it was at Marshall University. I love it.
I love the pick.
All right.
Second pick, I'm gonna go O-line too. I'm gonna go with Chester Arthur, who was the 21st president. I know that because we used to have a play in LA that we called 21, and when teams figured out we were running it, we started naming it things related to 21. So we would call it Prime Time after Deion Sanders, and then we started calling it Chester after Chester Arthur. 6'2", 225. Teddy's going to be running behind him all game.
That's a good pick. 6'2", 225 back in the late 1800s?
Yeah.
That projects to like 6'8", 270 today. Like that, he was probably the big. I have a feeling that back in the day, like if you were the biggest person in your town, they just elected you mayor.
Do we know anything about Chester Arthur's intangibles though, like his toughness or anything like that?
Sideburns. He had good sideburns.
Yeah,
that's all I know. That's literally all I know about Chester.
He passes the eye test. I guess it fits.
He succeeded Garfield after he was assassinated. So he was the vice president. So I actually don't know if he was actually ever elected president, but.
Okay. I am picking Abe Lincoln with my second pick.
Tommy.
Long tight end, stretch the field, 6'4", at 6'4" minimum. I think there's a possibility even taller than that. Like we're talking Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, end zone. You go into Abe all day long in the end zone. I'm just pounding behind Taft, and then once I get inside the 10, I'm going to Abe.
I'm very mad about this because that was going to be my pick, but I'm more mad about how you're mismanaging your team. Like Abe Lincoln's your quarterback. He is just your
I totally agree.
Why is Abe Lincoln my quarterback?
Because he's tall. He's got long arms. He's a little skinny. He's a natural leader.
Born leader. Yep.
Absolutely. The guy, he was an athlete too. I think he was a wrestler.
I guess we'll just see how the rest of my team shapes out.
I guess so. You better have some heat at quarterback because I don't know that you're going to do better than Abe Lincoln. All right. Well, I guess I'll have to switch up my team identity again.
Tough. It's tough.
I think I'll just go with GW. GW's gonna be my quarterback. Yeah. He was
quarterbacks going left and right, man. There 3 of them off the board already.
Yeah, he was one of the biggest dudes in the country at the time they ran. He was known as being like a giant. I think that probably meant that he was at most like Chester A. Arthur size. But he was a tough guy, fought in wars, led an army through Valley Forge where everybody almost froze to death. So going to Lambeau in December, that's not a problem for old G-Dub. So GW is my quarterback. Having him line up pro style under center under Gerald Ford, I think that's the good nucleus of an offense there.
I love it.
Yeah, it's tough to argue.
I don't know that POTUS.com is an official website. In fact, I'm looking at it right now, but it doesn't look official. But there is a tab on the menu there where you can look up their estimated weights. And George Washington was 175, 6'2", 175. It's like A non-ripped Drew Brees, basically.
A little taller than Drew Brees.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah. Drew Brees should, he like grew his hair out, or he could get like the hair plugs. He's sick if they brought back the powdered wig.
I think you should do this, PFT. I think you single-handedly have the power to make this happen.
Powdered wig. It was a look.
All right, Aaron, you got 2.
All right, so I think with my second pick, I'm gonna stay on the offensive side of the ball because I got the next pick, right? So I'm gonna stay on the offensive ball. I'll build him out. I'm going with JFK, man. I'm going with JFK, and I'm also going to put him as my number 2 receiver, right? He's sneakily athletic. He played high school touch football, I think they called it back then. He swam, tennis. So I think it's a great pick for my offensive side of the ball.
Hard to argue. Great athlete.
I love the pick.
You got another one, Arian.
So with my third pick, a little controversial, but I gotta go with Donald Trump. I'm picking Trump to spearhead my defense. I need somebody fucking batshit insane that believes we can win no matter what the score is. And he's headlining my linebacking core. He's the quarterback of the defense. I need him to be the heart of the defense. I don't need him to know the playbook. I don't need him to know shit. I just need him to go out and headhunt. And that's what Donald Trump's going to be.
He's like that dude in the program, the psycho guy that lifts all the time with the face paint.
Exactly. Spitting in each other's mouth. I need all that shit.
Bill Romanowski-esque, would you say?
Yeah. With the racial slurs. But
I have to say, Donald Trump DK Metcalf comparison is definitely one of the more eye-opening statements that has taken place on this show.
They're the exact same body.
Exact same.
I couldn't believe it when I looked up. I was like, damn.
Height and weight.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with LBJ.
Okay.
LBJ, and he's my tight end. You could make the argument that he is almost like a Nick Foles type, if you want to make him a quarterback, at least from the waist down. Body type's very similar, but I think for him, he's a tall, lanky guy. He loved football. He wasn't afraid to bully people, so he actually projects more as like a Gronk. He's kind of like a Gronk to me, where he'll throw you at the club. Like he's not afraid to put his nose in there, block. He'll do the dirty work, and I think he's got pretty good hands. But again, I'm building this team from the inside out, so I want my tight end to be more of a run blocker than like a Jimmy Graham type of guy. So LBJ
reads very slow to me.
That's fine.
Probably too slow for the NFL, if we're being honest.
You don't have.
He's a Central Michigan tight end. He's not an NFL tight end.
Well,
I think everyone that we've drafted so far, Tommy, is too slow for the NFL. I don't think that should be a requirement right now.
I'm just saying.
Slim pickings, guy.
I'm just putting it out there.
Didn't J.J. Watt play tight end at Central Michigan? I think he did.
Did he play tight end? I know he went to Central Michigan.
I think he played tight end there. So, in other words, I just drafted like a 3-time defensive player of the year. So, yeah, I'll take it.
No question.
Fair. All right. My third pick, I'm going to throw a little bit of a curveball into the equation. I'm going John Adams as my general manager.
Okay.
General manager / coach. I think John Adams, you could make an argument, is the greatest leader. Not the greatest leader, the greatest, how would you say the right word? In terms of foreseeing the future of American history, he's the GOAT.
Like a team architect.
A team architect. He's an architect of the country. And he's going to be my architect, building my team. I would say he's a GM / coach in the Belichick role. So not an on-field.
Jack Easterby. He's just Jack Easterby.
I mean, I don't know if I would go that far. Like that's a lot to live up to. But you're on the right track.
Well, here's the thing though, Tommy. If you take John Adams, you're essentially saying you're resigning yourself to the fact that in 20 years his shithead son is going to become head coach. And then kind of ruin everything just on name only. He's going to get So you're saying
I'll take the rings. I'll take the rings in between.
You're saying I want Bobby Bowden, but I don't want to have to deal with Terry Bowden 30 years from now.
I'm fine with the kid if I get my 6 championships. I'm fine with John.
I love the history lesson we're getting here, guys. This is great. Editor's note, by the way, Tommy, you're disqualified from potentially winning this draft because once again you have not followed the rules.
Why?
Just so we're clear.
Why did I not follow the rules?
U.S. presidents you would want to play on your NFL team. You always get too fucking cute. You always get too fucking cute. This is what happens.
All right.
So
all right, whatever.
He started drafting personnel. I was like, hold on, player. I didn't know he was doing that.
I'm gonna allow it. I think I like the thinking out of the box.
I think JJ's just shook because he is trying to figure out who he's going to pick for his last 3 picks, and he doesn't have much, so he's trying to.
I know my last 3 picks. I know my last 3 picks.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going with. I'm gonna. You know what? This is gonna be. I'm gonna go with Grover Cleveland. All right. Another like weighty guy. He's a weighty guy.
Yeah.
5'11", 260. I don't know if I'm going to put him on the O-line or the D-line, but he's going on the line. And then I need a quarterback, and I'm going to go Bill Clinton. I knew I wanted Clinton somewhere on my offense. I'm just going to put the ball in his hands. I feel like he likes the ball in his hands, and he's just going to operate.
Yeah, he's a bruiser too. Clinton is an underrated big guy. I don't have his measurables in front of me right now, but I think he's like 6'2", 6'3", and when he was in office, he was like 220, 230.
Yeah.
It's weird, honestly, isn't it, that we know the stats of our presidents? Like it's on the back of a trading card.
Clinton is a little doughy, though, if we're talking about, what you want in that position. I just don't know if body type really.
Everybody here is doughy.
Okay, just all right.
Except for John Madison, who is 5'4", 100
I can't believe
Obama, my number 1 receiver is not doughy. Obama's not doughy.
But,
True.
yeah.
True.
I can't believe this pick is still here. This is definitely the steal of the draft. My fourth pick is Eisenhower.
Okay.
So, all right, that is my architect of my defense. I'm building like the 2000 Ravens right now. That's my Ray Lewis.
I got my Ray Lewis, bro.
You definitely got your Ray Lewis. Eisenhower goes without saying.
It's good. Eisenhower's a good pick. Another good leader.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what you do from here. You could nail this pick and the next pick. It doesn't really matter.
So I mean, James
DQ'd.
James Madison would be hilarious as like a Darren Sproles type guy, little water bug running around, tough attack. You know what? I'm gonna take FDR. FDR at running back. Boom. He could.
I was wondering if someone was gonna do it.
In his prime, I guarantee you that FDR could out scoot us. Like you can go faster. He could probably go faster in a wheelchair when he was jacked up than I can right now if I tried to run. I think that's probably true. It's also impossible to tackle. He was a great leader too. He's a very popular guy.
Everybody should have a chance.
I like that pick. I like that pick.
Let us.
Everybody should have a chance.
Yeah.
Everybody should have a chance.
People count him out. Never count FDR out.
He could turn around a franchise.
I like it.
Yeah, there we go.
New deal. Love it.
All right, Arian, you got 2. Close it.
All right. With my 4th pick, I'm grabbing my quarterback. This is actually the steal of the draft. It's Thomas Jefferson. This is my quarterback. 6'2", smart, low racist, but smart, right? Wrote his own Bible, had the audacity to rewrite the Bible. Smart. I need that tenacity. I need that.
This is a great pick. This is definitely a steal of the draft.
Still of the draft. Still of the draft. Bar none. I was surprised it was on the board. You guys messed me up with that one. I just think he's gonna lead my team to victory. This is the late round pick. This is my Tom Brady.
PFT picking FDR over Thomas Jefferson is a lot.
I don't think he's got the body type for what we're asking our running backs to do on my team. Like we don't need a Derrick Henry. We don't need a big dude like that. I want a guy that's going to be able to see the holes, hit the holes. Like it's a one cut offense, right? So I figured we didn't need a TJ in the locker room. What Arian said though was very interesting. Like he wrote his own Bible. And I know he invented like thousands of things. How much time did Thomas Jefferson have on his hands? Just everybody have nothing but time back in the late 1700s, early 1800s? Like if you were a white politician who owned a ton of land in Virginia, like were you just bored all the time? Like I can't even put my head in that spot, imagining myself to be so bored that I would sit down and write the Bible.
TJ loved to spend time in Paris, though. You know what I mean? So it wasn't an 8-hour flight from New York.
Yeah,
he had to get on a boat, and it took.
That's my Tom Brady. He's my traveling superstar. You know, in the off season, he goes and gets his rocks off and comes back and leads the team to victory. That's what we need. Exactly what we need. Wrapping up the 2021 presidential draft. I'm going with the defensive side of the ball to help my maniac on the other side. We got some headhunters, dog. I'm going with George W. Bush. W.
Wow.
I need
wondering
somebody
if someone was going to pick him.
Can you guess that Arian lives in Texas?
I don't. Not by choice. I don't know of a better defensive lineup than scrappy, overachieving, high motor, unintelligible white men. It's amazing, my defensive lineup. George Bush, I don't need him to know the playbook just like Trump. I just need him to go headhunt. I don't need him to listen to the coaches and their plans and their executions. I don't need none of that. I just need you to go get the ball, bro. And we're gonna build around those two, and we're gonna have a great defense.
Yeah, he's got good reaction time too. You remember when he dodged that shoe?
Facts.
Yeah, no, that was impressive.
Let me ask you a question. So
Shoot.
Trump and George W. Bush don't get along. You've been in an NFL locker room. Does that matter on a defense? Do you have to like each other if you play in the same defense?
It's rare that two people on defense don't like each other because on offense there's so much complexities, right? You have to run your specific route. You have to do this. You have to do that. On defense, it's just like, yo, let's go get the ball, right? So you line up, you know your assignments, but it's reaction. Like I remember, like we have to do before every game, like you have to do tests, right? You have to do tests on the playbook that week because each week is like a different playbook, and so you have to do tests. And so ours was like real elaborate. Like it's like if they blitz this, who you have? If we're in this play, we'll do it, right? It's really elaborate. Like I used to look at the defensive, like the defensive lines playbook is like, yo, you have three options. You go straight, left, or right on any given play, dog. So it's like, sure, they have complexities, but it's like they go get the ball at the end of the day.
Yeah. What position do you think W would play?
So Trump's my middle linebacker. I need W at safety, right? I need W at
SS?
safety. Yeah. Oh, definitely strong. He's my Troy Polamalu.
Okay. Yeah.
He doesn't listen to Congress. He just goes. He goes.
Yeah, that's true. I would put Jameson at quarterback to counter that. You eat a dub. Just eat a dub right in his face.
The pun. I love it. That's nice. That's nice.
All right, PFT, close it.
All right, so I got FDR toting the rock, getting downhill, pad level on point. I think I'm going to take Andrew Jackson. Wait. Yeah, Andrew Jackson. I'm going to take Andrew Jackson. He just loved to fight. I don't know if you guys have done any reading about Andrew Jackson. He was just like a dumb kid from the middle of nowhere, but he loved to fight everybody. I think he probably has the most personal bodies of any president. I think he's like with his own hands probably killed more people than any president in history.
Well, your running back actually has the most bodies, but Andrew Jackson might have the most.
I'm talking hand
personal
like,
bodies, yes.
Hand-to-hand combat. I'm looking the other dude in the eyes and killing him. Yeah, I think I don't think that any president has killed as many people as Andrew Jackson and I'm saying with his own hands, meaning like we're counting knives, we're counting swords, we're counting guns, like muskets that you can see the other person with the naked eye with. I think Andrew Jackson's probably the most violent president. He actually is a dude that became president just because he loved to fight so much.
Did he beat the shit out of the guy who tried to shoot him? And the gun misfired, and he just beat him up with his cane?
Yes,
that's right.
He did that.
That was Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, we've got a long history of cane violence in the United States politics because that also happened in the United States Senate right before the Civil War. And that dude almost died. Like a senator almost put another guy into a coma.
That is a true story, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, he did. He took somebody out with a cane, and he just rose up in American politics because he'd kick your ass if you tried to run against him. So Andrew Jackson, I'm going to put him. He's going to be my Sean Taylor. Put him lurking.
PFT's got a solid team.
Yeah,
Andrew Jackson in the fifth. That's a motherfucker in the fifth round. That guy's going to play in your defense for like 10 to 12 years.
I was going to say William Henry Harrison because he died after like 20 days, and maybe the rest of the team would rally around that. You know, like they'd all start pulling in the same direction. Adversity brings you together a little bit. But yeah, Andrew Jackson, he's the pick for me in the fifth.
All right, I'm closing. My QB is going to be Jimmy Carter. Tough as nails. Guy's 96 years old and still kicking from the South. I got a lot of like Brett Favre vibes from Jimmy Carter, but like way better person, smarter Brett Favre. And I think that he's gonna lead us to a lot of victories.
He's a construction worker now.
Yeah,
Like, he's been building houses for the last 30 years.
He's built hundreds of houses. He's put food in the mouths of millions of people all over the world. Just a good person you want as like the face of your franchise.
Yeah, I thought about Jimmy Carter, but at first I was like, nothing about Jimmy Carter really screams toughness. He's like,
brittle, a little brittle.
He's not going to grab you by your face mask, but then I thought he has been a construction worker for his job. So he definitely he's got forearm strength like Brett Favre. You're right.
All right, JJ.
All right. Not a lot of good options left here with the 20th pick in this draft. I'm going to go. This guy actually was in my top 9, so I feel like I'm getting great value. I'm going to go with William McKinley. I'm going to put him at nose tackle. He was 5'7", 200 pounds, just built like a tank. Kept the U.S. on the gold standard. His presidency was marked by years of economic growth, and that's really what I want my defense to do. I want it to grow. I want it to prosper. I want it to thrive.
All right, the gold standard really screams defensive tackle.
Yes.
We got 49er vibes, guys.
Yeah. He got shot, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and died.
Yeah, William McKinley low-key got shot.
Dude. Tommy, if we don't get canceled after this,
I hope we do.
I mean, we're doing a draft. Tommy said something smart at the top, or maybe it was you, JJ. I'm not sure, but like there are really no great people that have been present. You can't say like this one person is awesome all around. So for this draft, it's just like we're throwing morals, ethics, all that shit completely out. We are acting like an NFL team now that I think about it.
You picked Andrew Jackson.
I know. It's just whoever's got the talent. I don't care. We'll make it all work.
Arian's defense is W and Donald Trump.
I think on paper I got the best squad. That's me. I know I'm proud of my draft board. That's just what I feel.
Yeah,
I'm just glad that we can all acknowledge that everybody we just picked is a deeply flawed human. I'm just glad we can all acknowledge that. That's another. I should have just mentioned that at the top of the draft when I said my disclaimer that
that's part of why
a lot of these guys were complete assholes.
I needed those guys for my defense.
I'm surprised no one picked Reagan. Chris, our producer, just chimed in with this. Reagan would have been a solid pick.
Was he a good athlete though? I know he's an actor, but I don't know that much about.
That's what I stayed away from Reagan. I thought about Reagan, but he was a little too Hollywood, right? He just came from an actor, so it's like he was going to be a prima donna. Like I don't need that on my team. I need gritty dudes that.
Yeah, he's like a Baker Mayfield because he was a commercial actor before he got into everything else. He did a lot of that stuff. Yeah, Reagan. He's got the body type though. He looks the part with popcorn muscles.
Definitely a first overall pick in somebody's draft, but not necessarily a good player.
Yeah,
he's definitely Hollywood.
George H.W. Bush would have been a good pick too. I think he was a captain of the baseball team at Yale. I don't know how good Yale baseball is, but I don't know. It seems like that's worth something. Yeah.
All right, guys. Appreciate the time. Everybody go check out Macrodosing on Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your pods. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you having us.
See you guys.